Very good morning to one and all. My name is Anjali Sharma and today I am here to discuss with you on the topic Introduction to Cosmetics and Cosmeceuticals. So let's proceed further and see how does law defines cosmetics. Before this question, I would like to discuss with you what generally we say about cosmetics. If I ask you what cosmetic is, you will say that cosmetics are the formulations which we applied on our body in order to make ourselves beautiful or to in order to make ourselves more attractive. Simple definition we will say. And if I ask you what the drug is, you will say that drugs are the substances which are used to cure us from the diseases. But according to law, this law is the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. According to this FDC Act, it defines cosmetic by their intended use. That is, they define cosmetics as the articles which are used to rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed on or introduced on the human body for cleansing purposes, for beautifying purposes, for promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance. So, this definition of cosmetic is according to FD&C Act Section 201 first. Okay, so this what according to law the definition of cosmetic is. Here is the picture which depicts that women absorb almost 5 lbs of toxic chemical substances a year by using such beauty products. Okay, next is how law defines a drug. If we says how law defines a drug, so according to FD&C Act, it defines a drug by the intended use as the articles which are used to diagnose, cure, mitigation, treatment or prevention of disease and the articles other than food. So the food articles are not included in this definition, which affects the structure or any function of the body of human beings or the animals. So this definition is according to FD&C Act Section 201 G first. Okay, so according to this law, what the drug is? The drugs are the articles which are used for the diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment or prevention of diseases, but food items are not included in this definition which affect the structure or any function of the body of man or animals. Okay. Next is what are cosmeceuticals? Actually, the term cosmeceuticals was coined by a dermatologist, Dr. Albert Klingman, in 1984, and he derived this word from the combination of two words. One is cosmetics and other is the pharmaceutical. By combining these two words, he coined a term cosmeceuticals. Cosmeceuticals are the products that have both cosmetic and therapeutic properties. Therapeutic properties means they have the drug-like effects and they are having the medical effects as well. Okay, these cosmeceuticals they are applied topically on the skin as cosmetics are applied, but the difference is that they contain active ingredient and that active ingredient have an effect on the skin cell function. Okay, cosmeceuticals are available over the counter. In this, for buying cosmeceuticals you need not to have a prescription by the doctor, and they are generally used as a part of regular skincare regime, and it also helps to improve the skin tone and the skin texture. But the difference is they contain an active ingredient which affects the skin cell functions. Okay, in some cases their action may be limited to the skin. Say for example, if it is its function is exfoliant. It will remove the dead cells from the surface. Okay, but in some cases it can penetrate to the deeper layer and enhancing or limiting the normal functions of the skin. Now am I clear what basically the cosmeceuticals are? Cosmeceuticals are the products that contains both the cosmetic as well as a drug like effect. Okay. Here we have the picture of dermatologist Dr. Albert Klingman, who coined the term cosmeceuticals. Here the cosmeceuticals have been classified for the different parameters, like for the skin there includes deodorant, moisturizer, facial products, creams, lotions, perfumes. For hair, it includes hair colorants, conditioners, gels, and cream. Apart from skin and hair, other products are also available, which includes toothpaste and powders. Okay. Next is a question arises: how can a product be both a cosmetic and a drug? Is it possible? Yes, of course it is possible. Okay, according to some products, they meet the definitions of both the cosmetics and the drug. If we say the example of shampoo, shampoo is a cosmetic as its intended use is to cleanse the hair. But if we will talk about the anti-dandruff shampoo contains drugs, some azole derivatives like ketoconazole. Okay, so that drug is used to remove the dandruff from the hair. It is having a drug-like effect also. So, consequently, if we say that anti-dandruff shampoo is both, it is a cosmetic and a drug as well. So, this type of preparations come under the category of cosmeceuticals. Okay. Another example is toothpaste that contain fluorides, deodorants that are also antiperspirants. Antiperspirants are the substances which are used to reduce the perspiration. Moisturizers and makeup marketed with sun protection claims. Such product they must comply with the requirement of both cosmetics and drug. Okay. Next is, what is the basic difference between the cosmetic and cosmeceuticals? As we have discussed earlier, cosmeceuticals contains level of active ingredients which includes phytochemicals, vitamins, etc. Like cosmeceuticals are also applied topically, but they contain active ingredient which influences the biological functions of the skin. And cosmeceutical products are intended to improve the appearance from a functional standpoint, whereas cosmetics are used to color and to adorn the body in a stylish fashion, leaving the real problem unaddressed. So these two are the basic difference between the cosmetic and the cosmeceutical. First is कि cosmeceutical contains active ingredient, although they are applied topically as like cosmetics, but it contains active ingredient which influences the biological functions of the skin. And cosmeceutical products, they improve the appearance from the functional standpoint, and cosmetics, they are just used to color the body, adorn the body in a stylish fashion, but leaving the real problem unaddressed. So here is a picture which depicts the difference between a cosmetic and a drug. Nivea hand cream smooth moisturizing, it is a cosmetic, and Aveeno sun protection factor 50, it is a natural protection which contains dimethicone, is prescribed by the doctor. So it is a drug. Okay, this is a cosmetic, this is a drug. Here are some examples, like a deodorant is a cosmetic but antiperspirant is a drug. A shampoo. If we talk about the shampoo, shampoo is a cosmetic. Basically, its function is to remove the cleanse the hair. But anti-dandruff shampoo, it is a drug because it is containing a drug inside it which is having a therapeutic effect. It is removing the dandruff from the hair. A suntan product is a cosmetic, but if we talk about the sunscreen product, it is a drug. If we talk about the exfoliant which removes the dead cells from the skin, but if we are using a skin peel, it is a drug. Okay, if we are applying any sort of cosmetic in order to hide the acne, that comes under the category of cosmetics. But if we are using a drug, say for example clindamycin, that is used against the acne, so that product is a drug. A skin moisturizer is a cosmetic, but if we are using any wrinkle removing or anti wrinkle cream, that it is coming under the category of drugs. So that sort of formulation which is having a cosmetic as well as the drug like effect, that comes under the category of cosmeceutical. If we are using a lip softener is a cosmetic, but if we are using a product which is we are using for the chapped lips, that comes under the category of drug. That is containing a drug, and which includes these two, cosmetic and drug, they becomes the cosmeceuticals. And these are the many more examples. Here we have the ingredients which are used for the formulation of cosmeceuticals. We'll discuss it one by one. Sunscreen. Sunscreen includes titanium dioxide, zinc oxides, antioxidants like vitamin C, alpha lipoic acids. Hydroxy acids are used, which are used to improve the skin texture, and they also reduces the signs of skin aging. In our next topic, in our next lecture, we will discuss the structure of skin and how the signs of aging occurs and the use of cosmeceuticals in reducing these signs. We'll discuss in our next lecture. Skin lightening agents, ascorbic acid, kojic acids are there, vitamins are there, fruit, herbs, vegetable extracts are there, essential oil, mineral oils are present. Essential oil, mineral oils, they are also the part of cosmetic also. So we cannot say that they are the part of cosmeceutical. They are used for the formulation of cosmetics also. These are the cosmetic product ingredient. These are the commonly used ingredients for the cosmetic preparations like cold cream, vanishing cream we prepare in the laboratories. So these beeswax, candelilla wax, various types of oils and fats like olive oil, mineral oil, coca butter, lanolin, petrolatum. These all are the ingredients which are used for the production of cosmetics. So now we will discuss one by one the factors which we are dealing with the use of cosmeceuticals. First is the UV protections. So UVA wavelengths, they penetrate deeply into the dermis and they causes the skin wrinkles. And UVB radiations, they are associated with many sort of skin cancers. So if we talk about the sun protection factor number or the sun blocker, they applies only to the UVB protection and it has no connection with the UVA protection. So generally what we do is we recommend, if you are using a sunscreen for the daily use, the SPF number of 30 is generally recommended, but it does not mean that the higher numbers will give more protection. Okay. Next is exfoliants. Exfoliants, they remove the dead cells and outer layer of the thickened skin, and also they encourages the skin turnover. So exfoliants, they are used to remove the dead cells. Next is the alpha hydroxy acid. Alpha hydroxy acid, what we basically do is they softens the fine wrinkles on the skin. They lightens the pigmentation spots. If we are having some sort of black spot, some sort of pigmentation is there, it lightens those pigmentations and it generally improves the texture of the skin, and it helps in making the skin tight, and it also make the skin look more healthier and more radiant. Okay. Next is the retinoids. Retinoids products are available in the market. Anti-aging moisturizing cream is present. Anti-aging treatment serums are also available. What they basically do is they treat the mild to moderate acne and the photo damaged skin, and they also remove the dead surfaces of the cells from the skin, and also it claims to build the collagen, as collagen is keep on building and breaking. So it retinoids, they help to build up the collagen, and it also regenerates the skin's elasticity. Elasticity of the skin is also regenerated through retinoids. Next is the moisturizers. Moisturizers, what they do is they smooth the surface of the skin and it lubricates the outer layers of the skin and locks the moisture in. Here is a photograph of the moisturizers also. Next is the antioxidants. Antioxidants, what they do is they are used to defend against the free radical damage. The free radical reactions are keep on occurring in the body. So these antioxidants are used to defend against these radical damages. Vitamin A, vitamin C, coenzyme and green tea, they all are the source of antioxidants. Next is the peptides. What basically peptide do is they stimulate the metabolism of the skin and repairs the skin. And it also inhibits the hyperpigmentations and it slower down the breakage of the collagen. We have discussed that retinoids they build up, they claims to build up the collagen. So and the peptides they lowers the rate of breakdown of the collagen. So anti-wrinkle creams they contain peptides and they are also under the category of cosmeceuticals. So here we have make a cosmetic and drug differentiation like moistening shampoo, mustering creams, lipstick, eyeshadows, hair dyes and colorants. They come under the category of cosmetics. And drugs includes anti-dandruff shampoos, whitening creams, anti-aging creams, anti-wrinkle creams and acne-aided soaps. Now next is what ingredients are prohibited or restricted by FDA regulations. So I have mentioned some ingredients which have been restricted by the FDA regulations due to some hypersensitivity reactions on the skin. First is biothiol. It causes the photocontact sensitization. Chlorofluorocarbon propellants, they are also restricted by the FDA. Chloroform causes the cancer of the skin and halogenated cyclophenolides, they causes the skin disorder. Hexachloroquine and mercury compounds, they causes the allergic reactions and also the skin irritations and some neurotoxic problems. So due to these all reasons, FDA has prohibited the use of these ingredients to be incorporated while formulating the cosmeceuticals. Here are some advantages of cosmeceuticals. The first is the cosmeceutical, they addresses the root cause. What is the basic root cause against a particular sort of problem? They are safe for the long term use. Okay, cosmeceuticals you can have a long term use of that. They are also having the complementary role, and the most important is they promote the beauty of the skin through health and wellness of the skin. Okay, and at last the cosmeceutical with natural ingredients are preferred, as nowadays we all are moving towards the herbal cosmetics. So cosmeceuticals with natural ingredients are more preferred because they are less toxic as compared to synthetic or semi-synthetic ingredients which are being used for formulating the cosmeceuticals. So here is a small assignment which includes some brainstorming questions. The questions are basically on the cosmeceutical versus the other options. My first question is I request our students that after going through the session, just work on these questions and kindly submit your assignments to me. First is cosmeceutical, will they replace the cosmetics? According to you, what are your views? Cosmeceuticals are able to replace the cosmetics? If yes, then to what extent or how? If you are saying yes, so how is it possible? Give some examples of that. Okay. Secondly, cosmeceuticals are able to replace a pharmaceutical product. If yes, then how? If no, so what are your views? Okay. And same as the next is, will the cosmeceuticals will replace the cosmetic surgery? If yes, then justify your statement. If no, then also justify your statement. Okay. So this is a small assignment which you have to do after attending this session of mine. At last, any questions regarding the session, you can ask me. I'll be happy to answer you. Thank you so much.